The main reason, yet driving force that would not allow me to stay on left side of the quadrant was what happened to my highly educated but poor dad at peak of his career. In the early 1970s, I was already out of college and in Pensacola, Florida, going through pilot training for Marine Corps on my way to Vietnam. My educated dad was now the superintendent of education for state of Hawaii and a member of governor's staff. One evening my dad phoned me in my room on a base. Son, he said, I am going to resign from my job and run from lieutenant governor of state of Hawaii for the Republican Party. I gulped and then said, you are going to run for office against your boss. That's right, he replied. Why? I asked. Republicans do not have a chance in Hawaii. The Democratic Party and the labor unions are too strong. I know, son. I also know that we do not have prayer of winning. Judge Samuel King will be candidate for governor and I will be his running mate. Why? I asked again. Why run against your boss if you know you are going to lose? Because my conscience won't let me do anything else. The games these politicians are playing disturb me. Are you saying they corrupt? I asked. I don't want to say that, said my real dad. He was an honest and moral man who rarely spoke badly about anyone. He was always a diplomat. Yet I could tell from his voice that he was very angry and upset when he said, I'll just say that my conscience bothers me when I see what is going on behind the scenes. I could not live myself if I turned a blind eye and did nothing. My job and paycheck are not as important as my conscience. After a long silence, I realized that my dad's mind was made up. Good luck, I said quietly. I am proud of you for your courage. I am proud to be your son. My dad and the Republican ticket were crushed as expected. The re elected governor sent the word out of my dad was never to get a job again with the government for the state of Hawaii, and he never did. At the age of 54, my dad went looking for a job, and I was on my way to Vietnam. At the middle age, my dad was looking for a new job. He went from jobs with big titles and low pay to more jobs with big titles and low pay. Jobs where he was the executive director of XYZ Services, a non profit organization, or managing director of ABC Services, another non profit. He was a tall, brilliant, and dynamic man who was no longer welcome in the only world he knew, the world of government employees. He was a tall, brilliant, and dynamic man who was no longer welcome in the only world he knew, the world of government employees. He tried starting several small businesses. He was a consultant for a while and even bought a famous franchisee, but they all failed. As he grew older, his strength slipped away, so did his drive to start over again. His lack of will became even more pronounced after each business failure. He was a successful E trying to survive as an S, a quadrant in which he had no training or experience and for which he had no heart. He loved the world of public education, but he could not find a way to get back in. The ban on his employment in state government was silently in place. In some circles, the word is called blacklisted.